If your income is in one currency, but your life here in Hungary runs on forints, exchange rates can really make or break your finances. I know. So, how much of a risk is it? What can you do to protect yourself? To explain, of course, I asked Richard. He's been living here since 2001 and he understands the challenges of juggling currencies firsthand.
If you're living in Hungary, you're probably exposed to foreign exchange risk. So if you have income from, say, a UK pension or rental income, if you've got money invested in a portfolio, a pension, maybe invested in a globally diversified portfolio, which is probably a good thing for most people. But when you take money out, again, you're exposed to foreign exchange risk. So how can you protect yourself or mitigate that risk? Well, you can consider how much your living expenses are. Maybe some people would like to have 6 months living expenses available in a Hungarian forint cash bucket, maybe 2 years living expenses. It's not really a great idea to have too much money sitting in cash because the purchasing power of cash erodes over time because of inflation. It's not really a great store of wealth, but it is useful to have cash. So maybe if you've got probably a certain amount of cash in a UK bank account in sterling, maybe it could be worth considering having more in HUF, and that would match better your expenditure requirements and help mitigate exchange rate risk. You could, of course, we can use, probably most people know about certain apps. There are a couple of apps that I think most people in the expat community in Hungary know about. I won't mention their names. I get an email every morning telling me what the exchange rate is, and I think that's quite a useful reminder because sometimes it nudges me to take action and say, okay, I'm going to top up my cash, my HUF bucket. I don't think it's a great idea to have too much cash on deposit with these providers. Maybe you might have heard stories about you send off, they ask you for proof of address and proof of ID, and they don't like what you send them and they decide to suspend your account for a period of time, which obviously would be very frustrating. It's good to be diversified and have money spread around. Maybe you could look at the rates of return, interest payable by Hungarian banks. Maybe if you've got a certain amount in HUF, you could look at Hungarian government bonds. Not a recommendation, but something to consider. Maybe if you're transferring a large amount across, sometimes it can be difficult to do that. If you're transferring a large amount, say for a property purchase, sometimes you're better off using an FX broker. And you could also, with an FX broker, you could set up, or you could arrange a forward contract if you're, say, buying a property. So assume you were looking to complete a purchase in, say, 4 months' time, well, you could secure today's exchange rate to mitigate exchange risk if the rates went against you. So, yeah, those are my sort of tips, if you like, about how to manage and mitigate foreign exchange risk.
If you've got your own questions about managing money between currencies, DM me, send me an email. I'll make sure you get pointed in the right direction. And of course, follow along because I'm sharing more of Richard's answers twice a week throughout September.